Welcome back, everybody. It is time to make one of my favorite salads. You're going to see a lot of different versions of this from me because I have so many, but this is going to be a classic panzanella salad. It is just this classic Italian salad of, they use old stale bread tossed with fresh tomatoes and basil and a vinaigrette, and I'm going to add some mozzarella. It is so delicious. And what I'm going to start with here are the bread cubes. So I took a smaller loaf of, you can do sourdough, you can do a rustic French bread or Italian bread, whatever you got. And you drizzle it with a little olive oil. Today, I decided to use the Stock Market's Tuscan herb oil. Normally I just use a regular olive oil, but we had it in the pantry and I thought that would be delicious. I'm gonna sprinkle the bread with a little salt, drizzled it with the oil, and I'm gonna pop it in the oven just to get them lightly crispy. I'm not looking for super golden croutons or anything like that. Just nice and light and crispy to toss so it soaks up the vinaigrette, but still stays nice and crisp. So, love it. Let's start with our ingredients here. In my bowl, I have a 1/4 cup, ignore the chip out of this bowl, we're gonna turn it. I'm gonna cover it. We're gonna go ahead and start with a 1/4 cup of olive oil, whether you use the Stock Market Tuscan herb or you just use a regular olive oil, that works great. And then to this, I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I will often, if I don't have that, use balsamic, and it is equally delicious. The red wine's just a little bit lighter. Balsamic gives it a little more sweetness. Both are fabulous. You do you. 3 tablespoons of vinegar in there. I'm gonna do a nice dash of salt and pep because we gotta season up some tomatoes. This is one of the tricks to my panzanella. I'm gonna get the tomatoes in here right away so they start marinating and taking on all the flavor. And I'm gonna get my shallot in here right away because it takes away a little bit of the harshness. So just give that a nice little mix. I'm gonna set that to the side. Now, let's start with our shallot. So I asked you to get a large shallot, nice and big, right in the palm of your hand. That's what we're looking for here. A lot of times you get a large shallot and then you peel it and it ends up being 2. So that's fine. You're gonna peel it just like you would an onion, get that skin off of there. And I'm gonna get those in the vinaigrette first, just because it's almost like a pickled onion or anything else. It just takes away a little bit of that harsh onion flavor, but you still get the flavor and it's nice and mild. Of course, this peel is gonna take up my entire segment, so that's good time. We're good, I can move quick. Let's do this one as well. All right. So you're gonna cut this just like you do an onion. We talk about it all the time. I get more comments from people who stop me at the grocery store and say, I know how to cut an onion now. I've been doing it wrong for 65 years. Like, I love hearing that. So great. All right, this one's being sassy. Hold on one second. This is what happens. Produce, you never know. The outer layer is a little rubbery, so I'm gonna take a moment. I don't wanna eat anything that's not super delish, and that doesn't look super delish. There we go. Now it's nice and fresh and bright. Love it. So we're gonna go ahead, instead of doing the dicing of the onion though, like we normally would do, I wanna go ahead and do nice thin, super thin, rocking your knife forward. It never leaves the board. Nice thin slices all the way down. Just like that. When you get to the end, watch those fingers, just turn it over and you can go ahead and do a nice little slice there. And I'm gonna go ahead and get this, kinda divide them up a little bit with your fingers. Let's do it with this one as well. Let those marinate. And you can do this for any salad. It doesn't have to be a bread salad. These lightly marinated tomatoes and shallots really just soak up this flavor and just make them extra delish. All right, again, just kind of break them up a little bit into little rings. Let those soak in there. And let's get to our tomatoes. Now, if they're small, like these little small ones, I just throw them right in. Those are pretty. I like to get the multicolored ones. If they are a little bit larger, I go ahead and have them. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know why. I just can't stand when there's a humongous cherry tomato in a salad or in a caprese skewer or something like that. How do you eat it? How do you eat it and look cute? It's not easy. So I'm just giving these a nice cut in half here. Use whatever you find fresh, and that's what I love. Oops, I didn't mean to forget you, my friend. You get in there. Use whatever looks fresh. So if you're at a farmer's market, if you're at a store, wherever you are and you're looking at tomatoes, if the grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes don't look great, just get a big tomato and chop it up. I'm just looking for some marinated tomatoes. I might not need to use all these. I'm gonna toss these little yellows in there though, because they're so cute. I don't want to miss out on those. That one's a little big. If you're a gardener, this is a great late summer salad. If it's the middle of winter, find something that looks decent. Whatever you want to do. It's a salad that's delicious because the bread is kind of the star a little bit. Now, I've made this as well, and I'll probably do one in the future with roasted garlic bread. You know how you get the bread at the store and there's big garlic cloves in it, baked into it? Honey, making this salad with the big garlic bread is just absolutely delish. All these little yellows are going in. Okay, I think I probably am getting close here. Looking for about 2 cups all day. I don't want to overwhelm it. We'll start here. We'll start there. Oops, I tossed you in there. I'm going to give this a good toss around. Let's make sure those are marinating and really sinking in this flavor. Also, some of the juices of the tomato are going to come out in this. I'm going to break these up. In this little marinade here, this little vinaigrette. So the tomatoes are flavoring this, and the shallots are infusing in the oil. It's all just so good. All right, we're also going to use 1 clove of garlic. Just 1, I know. Are you admiring my restraint today? Just 1. I prefer, because it's such a fresh salad, you don't use the garlic for this. Most recipes, I'll tell you, are good to go, usually when you're cooking them, but when you're doing something fresh like this, I would love for you just to keep it 1 big, bright, fun, raw garlic that will mellow out right in that marinade. Let that infuse in there as well. Now, go ahead and we're gonna do about 1/2 of a cucumber. We don't need a ton in this, just nice and fresh. You can dice it, you can slice it, you can do whatever you want. I'm probably gonna do kind of these little half moons. Keeping my knife on the board, just rocking forward. When you get to big chunks like this, just be very careful. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just chop it so it's bite size. Throw her in. Let's do the other side. Let me give it a stir though, because I just want all that soaking up. Half straight down. Beautiful. Now, let's check on our bread. After this is, ideally, I would love for you to have this marinade for, 10 minutes or so would be great. Let those flavors really sink in. But we're gonna grab our bread out. We're just looking, and this is so good with stale bread too. If you have, that's what it's meant to be. So if you have stale bread laying around or in the bakery section and you see stale bread, ooh, I hear it. It's got a little bit of a golden crunch, but nothing crazy. A little bit of that kind of yummy, it's soaked in the oil. So now we're gonna carefully do this. I need 1 more towel. Let me grab this real quick. And I'm gonna carefully add this in. There we go. And I have 1 more thing that needs to go in. I'm gonna give it a toss. I have fresh basil on the side here, but if you are in the mood to add some mozzarella, whatever kind of mozzarella you like, but I get the little balls of mozzarella and I toss those in. And they just also soak up all of the flavor of that marinade in those tomatoes. Now, ideally, let this sit in your fridge for or room temperature actually, for 10 minutes or so. That's what you're looking for. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in my salad bowl. And I'm gonna top it with fresh basil. And that is just an absolutely delicious, classic, can't go wrong bread salad. I hope you try it. I'm gonna post this recipe right after the show. Delicious. I hope you try this.